Mint Tea and Mayhem came from hours of conversations on the road, in kitchens, in different countries, about what it feels like to really be a woman in midlife.
We've both lived unconventional lives, traveled a lot, and found ourselves asking the exact same questions as so many other women.
Who am I? What matters? And how do I want to live the next chapter?
This podcast is about midlife, travel, friendship, culture, and the lived experience of being a woman in this season of life.
There's no fixing here, no pressure to have it all figured out. It's just real conversations.
Sometimes it's thoughtful, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's a bit chaotic, but it's always honest.
Always. And mint tea represents connection.
Mayhem represents life.
And this is where the two meet. So join us here every couple of weeks. You are welcome.
Merhaba.
Hey Tracey, how are you today? Where are you? What's going on? How's the week been?
I am here in Marrakesh in my apartment. Finally, my home sweet Marrakesh.
It's been a really crazy week. I'm sure you're finding that as well. And it's full moon coming. It's full moon coming.
Okay, that changes everything. Sorry. Now that you said that, it's like...
full moon coming and it all gets a bit crazy.
Yeah, okay, I don't know about you, but I find like it's like this thing. Before I could like handle crazy weeks pretty good because like, you're young and stuff, but I feel like I can handle them better mentally sometimes more now, but sometimes not. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. It's an interesting one because your energy levels are not like they were when you were in your 20s and 30s. But I think your capacity to work through problems and things that appear is much clearer and much better. And I guess that's the big shift from being young to being this age, and what the reality of it means for us being here. Because I mean, what did you think when someone said to you, oh, when you're in your 50s? Like, what was you thinking at that point?
I remember going, oh my God, 50 is so old. And now I'm like, I'm going to be 54 this year. And I'm like, yes!
I'm going to be 55. I'm going to be 55 in like 2 weeks.
Oh my God, really?
Yes. But you know what's so funny? It's like you look back when you were young and you would look at women that were like 50, or you'd hear the number and you'd be like, oh my God, that's so old. Life is over. But it's not. It's just this amazing shift that comes that you don't expect it. Your body's changing because of the menopause and you can feel it all changing. Yeah. But what's going on in here and the joy you have and how much more you can experience is such a gift, isn't it? It really is a gift.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, Monday, and we were talking about just some things. And I said, yeah, I've just come to a place in my life where it's like, I used to tolerate certain things because I was a tolerable person. And I think I still am tolerable, but then I've come to a place where it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't tolerate that anymore. I don't have time for that. I don't have energy for that. I have energy for other things, but that's not one.
Yeah, I think you get much clearer on your boundaries.
For sure.
And I think the other thing that I've really thought about is how lucky our generation is. When I think about my mum and what kind of opportunities she had, she was kind of like coming into the workforce in the 70s and 80s. So, there was that big shift then towards women going into the workplace. But, for my mum, it wasn't traveling. It wasn't, there was no other choices for mum really at that point. I remember her saying to me, the only way you left home was by getting married. That was the reality, But then I think about when she was in her 50s, and that would have been, different as well because she wouldn't have had the opportunities that we have now. So that's 25 years ago, the fact that we can travel and, we just have so much more open to us, I think. Our generation, are incredibly lucky, I think, to be able to go and travel and do things and really chase our dreams in a different way. I think it's just a different landscape. It's a lot. If you think about, it comes back to what we just said about the energy levels that you had when you was in your 20s and 30s compared to your energy levels now. It's you have the physical changes that go on, but the mental changes are the gift and the opportunities, I suppose. But I mean, for traveling as a woman now, It's
Yeah.
a completely different experience to traveling in your 20s, don't you think? It's so
Oh
different.
my gosh. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
I feel safer. I feel, I don't
Yeah.
like
I
to
was
use
saying
this
that the
word,
other day.
I'm
Yeah.
anonymous. I
Yes.
quite
It's
like
like,
that.
yeah.
You know, someone called me auntie. I was telling you the other day, someone called me auntie in India, and
Yeah.
my first reaction was like, and then I
What?
was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm in my 50s, for
No,
goodness sake,
no, no.
I'm an
I'll wear
auntie.
that. I'll wear that.
And I was like, oh, yeah, but it is different. You speak to some people or you speak to the younger girls and they have a different experience. And I see that online and when I see the younger girls talking about the experiences they have as a young woman traveling solo. So I do feel at this age, whilst there may be challenges and things that happen around you, I do feel there is that little bit more of an anonymity and I feel safer because of the wisdom that I
Mm,
have as well. That
yeah.
makes it different to travel at this age, I think.
Right. And as I would hope most women, and if they don't, then this is where people like you come in and are wonderful. I hope that most women at this age uh, would be more secure in themselves, where they can be like, yeah, I can do this.
Mm.
Which makes me think about you and your trips that you're coming up from Morocco.
Mm. Yeah,
This
that's
is
all about to
exciting.
come out. So some of the
It's
information
so
would have come out by the time
exciting
this one
for
goes out.
you.
I'm so excited. I was writing a newsletter earlier and I put in it that really Morocco brought so much into my life and so unexpectedly, just the joy of that place and the soul of that place and the energy and the
Mm,
magical things that happened there for me. And I really it kind of put in that purpose for me around taking women in our age group to Morocco. And the way that I've structured the tours is that they're kind of like to support women to come and experience Morocco. And I have different types of tours, and some of them are like really structured to give them the pre-support and the support while they're there, and the support after.
amazing.
And I think that's quite different to something else that's on offer. So I'm hoping, that that's going to be something that women go, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I like that idea, and it's so amazing to be with a group of women.
Absolutely. I think it's a fantastic idea. In fact, before I met you, I've been toying with the idea for several years. There's got to be a way um, to get a hold of this age group, my age group, our age group, because one, like you said it, Morocco, there's some magic there. I feel like for our age group, I don't know what it is, but there's something about Morocco that for me made the mental I'm not having a midlife crisis, I'm having a midlife awakening. And the beauty and the magic and the simplicity and the chaos that is Morocco, it was like almost like a mirror of the midlife journey.
Yeah, that's really beautifully put. Maybe that's what it is. That's because I'm speaking to a lot of women in our age group, and you can see online where people are talking about Morocco, and they're kind of echoing exactly that those thoughts around how they feel when they're there. But I think you've hit it nail on the head. Maybe it is a mirror in a way. Maybe Morocco is a
I
mirror.
just got like goosebumps all over me.
I love that. I love that we get these like little ideas.
Little
It's such
epiphanies.
the beauty of the midlife. You're like, oh, there's a bit of
No,
wisdom
no,
there,
no, it
and then you
wasn't a
go and
hot
do.
flash. It was an epiphany. I swear, it wasn't a hot flash.
Yeah, but then the thing is, I'll walk out of here and walk into the other room and be like,
What
what
did
was
she
I
say?
doing? you know, my brain's just like, what was I doing? Oh my
Do
God.
you ever do that? And then you're like, you stop and you like, I physically like walk backwards to try and like reenact where I was. It's like, okay, I was doing this, and then what did I think? Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah, no.
it's
And the best
crazy.
one is, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Where's my phone? It was
Using the
here
torch.
somewhere.
Use the
Where
torch to
is?
look for my phone.
Yes, yes, I resemble that remark.
Oh my goodness, the midlife journey. I think like another part of it, like talking about that shift and like, traveling safely as an older woman.
Yeah.
I think it's also kind of taps into that pleasing yourself without any kind of
Mm,
guilt. Like it's like this is my
yes,
time and I'm going to take this time for me and I'm really going to go off and enjoy what it is this
absolutely.
time that I've now because I've given so much and I like to give and I like to help and I like to support,
Yes.
but this journey when you go off for yourself or you go with a group with other women and you make new friends, it's such an amazing opportunity.
Who you can relate with in a different way than, let's say, if you have a partner or if you have friends of a different age, like younger. It's so good to be in amongst people, women, who you feel like I'm seen. I feel totally seen. I feel like I don't have to explain myself. Like it's just so like
Yeah. Yeah, and you have so much to share about
yes.
your journey, and you have so much to learn from others as well. That's the
Oh,
whole gift of it.
absolutely.
I've been around a group of other women. You laugh, and you laugh unreservedly. That's one of the things that I've noticed now. In fact, we were out last week and there was four women, all my age group, and we was having like a little bit of a drink and some nibbles, and we were howling with laughter. I can't remember what we was talking about, but some guy walked up and he just said to us, "You're having a good time, aren't you?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're having a great time."
Yeah. Absolutely.
you you know,
And we're not embarrassed about having a good time. Where when you're younger, you're like, oh, don't like make a scene because I won't look cool.
yeah, that's true.
Where now you're like, I give zero.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's also. I mean, the other part of it, I think, is enjoying the other smaller the things in life that I didn't notice before. Like for me,
Mm,
I think in the last few years, it's been nature and
yes.
flowers and
Mm,
birds and cooking and different types of food or where the produce comes from. The smaller things in life have become so much more important to me, as have my friendships, because they kind of
yeah.
shrink as well as you go
They
through
change.
having children.
They change.
It
Even
changes.
I have some friends my age and older, and even I think because, and I'm trying to process a lot of it, and it's like I think it's okay that we change because we all are our own individuals, but sometimes we change together and we eventually come back, and sometimes we don't, and that's okay.
Someone
Because
said to me,
yeah,
Someone said to me, you have friends for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That was
that's
the
so
way that they
true.
put it. And it's so
Yeah.
true.
I have this one friend that I've known for 20 plus years, and this last year has been really rough for her. She's going to be 60 this year, which I'm like, you're going to be 60? Like, wait a second. Hottie, how did that happen? Anyway, she's had a really hard year, lost some people in her life, and just really needed space. And as her friend, I'm like, I'm going to give her the space. And so we regrouped a couple weeks ago and had like an hour long FaceTime. And I said, "Hun, like, I hope you know that I gave you space because I felt," she goes, "I absolutely love that you did. And I love that we can keep going and like just pick up because we just know." And I'm like, this is like the life friendship where you're
Yeah,
just like, yeah, got it.
yeah, yeah.
You do
And some
you.
friends, it's like that. You don't speak to them for months. Sometimes it can be a year. I've had friends maybe 2 or 3 years,
Yes,
and
yes.
that you just pick up. You just because you've got those fundamental. I guess that there's a history there, but then you have these new friendships, like me and you, and these other friendships that I've made that just come out of nowhere. From
Yeah,
travel. And that's the beauty of travel at this age.
for sure.
Not to
Oh,
escape, not to get away,
yeah.
not to, it's really about traveling to experience, and going with curiosity and going
And
appreciating
empowering. Yes, yes.
and appreciating different cultures and being in different places. It's just such a gift, I think, at this life to do it, because some people haven't had that opportunity because they've been so busy with a career or family or things like that. So this is the
Yeah.
time to go and do it, because you said earlier, your physical fitness
You can
will.
still physically do it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
for
There's
sure.
certain things like Machu Picchu's on my list, and I want to get there before my knees go.
Yes. Okay, let's plan that.
Yeah, let's go there. So yeah,
Okay,
I think it's a journey, isn't it? Like midlife is you continually growing and learning,
for sure.
but it's a really beautiful period. I really feel like it's a beautiful period. I love this age of my life. I really do.
I love this age of my life and I love who I am in this age. This is the
Mm,
first time that I was thinking about it yesterday. You know what? Amidst all of my seasons, I love I actually love myself more now than I have ever loved myself, which I
yeah.
think that's a huge part.
Yeah, I think that's really true, because you accept, you're not critical of yourself anymore, and you've got I guess you have a much deeper understanding of humanity and where your place in it, and the wider kind of situation. I guess because you step more out of your ego, don't you, as you kind of get older, and you can get a little bit more distance, so you kind of see it for what it is. So yeah, it's a blessing. I feel like it's a real blessing.
It is.
It is.
Yay!
Okay, what are you off to do now? What are you going to do today in Marrakesh?
I'm meeting some people for some really cool creative workshops here. Today, I'm going to probably meet someone for coffee. I got to do some photos of an engagement shoot that I did in Greece last week. I got to get those out. So, yeah, I've got stuff to do this weekend. What about you?
Beautiful. I'm going bowling. That's my new thing, bowling, and get this one, darts. Okay, honey,
Okay,
have a lovely
I'll
week,
talk
and
to
I'll
you
speak to
soon.
you soon.
Mwah. Okay,
Bye.
bye.